So hello guys, hi, welcome back. Good morning to all of you, and we have with us Nitin Mukesh. Hi Nitin. Uh,
Yes,
so
Srijit.
hi. So he has actually done his he has done his masters from IIT Bombay, right? ASI
Yeah.
in 2029, and he has now is a researcher at TCS Innovation Lab, Research and Innovation Lab. I hope I have told it correctly.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, perfect. So Nitin is has a background of computer science, and the idea is that I was quite interested because he has written a book. I got in touch with him from LinkedIn. He has written a beautiful book that shares about the life strategies before the examination, I guess, more than the exam preparation purpose. So, which I thought really amazing because um, um, more to the exam, people get stressed and panicked, and a lot of uh, things happen. So, I thought that maybe the best person to share his view is Nitin. So I got in touch with Nitin, and here he is. Thank you, Nitin, for coming over. And
Thank you, Srijit.
yeah, so I will start slowly with the questions I have, and I will hear you. We will all hear your journey. And yep, so maybe the students, not many students are online because there are colleges going on.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope they will look into this and view this after their college,
Hmm.
of course. Okay, so let's get started. I have so briefly share a bit journey about yourself, share about yourself. We should know you more. Yep, Nitin, please go ahead.
I had my graduations from Banaras Hindu University in 1619 batch I'm from, and my graduation subject was computer science, and I had stats and maths as my second and third subject. And I done my masters from IIT Mumbai in 1921 batch, and means I was very means interested in data science and machine learning. That's why apart from choosing the computer science, I thought to choose to statistics and I am happy that I am starting my journey as a machine learning researcher last year. And means if I talk about my interest in data science and machine learning, mainly like research and this type of things excites me. And my current research area is reinforcement learning. It's quite a new and quite interesting. So that's
Your
all about my
current
interest in
research is
education.
reinforcement learning.
Yeah, yeah. I am doing my
Okay,
research in
great,
reinforcement learning.
perfect. Yeah. Okay, great. So okay, so you plan to pursue a research career or industry oriented and research both combined career.
Okay, so research is means I was quite interested in research. So I had a research internship during my bachelor's also. So like that time in the especially in the BSc, people don't think about research a lot because everyone wants to get into good college. So at that time also I did a research internship. So means research is quite interesting for me because learning the new algorithms, working on the new problems, starting from the scratch, it's something that means that where I found myself comfortable. That's why I can say that yes, research was something in my mind from before you can see that at least from the start of the graduation it was that yeah, I have to go to the research areas. And I'm quite happy that yeah, I was able to find that yes, industrial research is also something that people go for. So there is something people go to in the research in the academics area, and there's something people go to the research in the industrial area. So yeah, both are quite interesting, and yes, I'm enjoying the time a lot.
That's beautiful. So yeah, I mean, research is something also close to my heart, so I can connect to you in some sense.
Yeah.
Okay, glad. So glad that you are like interested in, creating new knowledge and helping the society out there with your. Very good, very good. So perfect. So let's get started with the things that students are maybe waiting for, and we can actually call you in another webinar where you can share about your work and interesting problems that you deal with in data science.
Yeah.
Okay. So um, so Nitin, you are from which background? Can you just share a background? Like you're from computer science. As far as I remember, can you just share your background? Like
Yeah, I am
uh,
from computer
like the
science
topic.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I am
Okay.
from
Okay.
computer science background. So the way the means I am from the Banaras Hindu University, and there there are three subjects generally for any people doing graduation. So there are a one subject which is your honor subject, so you'll be taught that subject for 3 years. And apart from that, you have two other subjects. So I have maths and statistics as two other subjects. That's how I was eligible for IT exam also. So I had stats and maths for 2 years, and computer science was for 3 years. So that was my background. So I had a little bit of stats and math background. You consider 2 years is far enough for being know the basics and all those things. And computer science was my main background. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so computer science was your main background. So when did you start? So let's start with your this webinar is focused on how you prepared for IIT JAM. Rather, how what will you suggest your juniors to? So let's start with the first question that we have from our students. Like, please share your preparation journey on is as much details as you can, Nitin. What did you do? And I heard you prepared in 1 month. Okay.
Yeah,
For
that was something that was not of my intention. So means I will not advise a student to go with the 1 month strategy because that is too much risky. So like if I start about that with that story only. So I was from BSc Computer Science, so I was also hoping to get into MSc Computer Science. So like after BSc there is two options: either people go for MCA or MSc. So since MCA there at time was 3 year course, so that's why I choose not to go to the MCA because like I had realized the course of MCA and it's found that there are a similar course to BSc, but the thing is that you get to do MSc from NIT and get a good placement. So that's why I choose. Yes, I know a lot of things, so that's why I should go for the MSc. So I was preparing for MSc Computer Science. So NIT Trichy at that time was having MSc Computer Science course, and it was taking their exams means for the computer science alone. But like on 10th January, so the story goes this way. On the 10th January, I was already checking, always checking the the syllabus of MSc Computer Science and IT3G. So when on 10th January I checked the syllabus, I found that they have changed their selection criteria, and now they will be choosing the candidates from IIT and mathematical statistics. So means it was a shock for me because I had not prepared for IIT and mathematical statistics before than that. And on the 10th Feb, which was exactly 1 month after 10th January, was something that the exam was there. So I thought, okay, how can I do this thing in 1 month? Because apart before that, and like when I went to the hostel, I found that every student was doing the revision, and I was to them, yeah, please tell me a book from which I can prepare for all these things. So it was actually a funny story. So I talked with my brother. So like my elder brother is used to be my mentor till now. So I talked with him and I shared the whole story. So he told that okay, so there is some problem. You have to do this thing in 1 month. So what's the solution? So I say there is two way: either do it or just leave it. So like okay, so why don't you just try your best to do those things in 1 month and let's see what happens. So whatever you can do in 1 month, whatever you can do, just do those things very honestly, and then we will see the result. If it's not means you are not going to get anything, then just we will leave it and we will forget about it. This type of things happen in just 1 month. So, and he also told that read something, means read the way you have not read like this before. So I was really shocked. How can a person read like something? Means I was studying from past 21 years, from starting from my class 1 to class 12, then getting into the graduation. So what was the thing that I was missing? I was not able to clear the JE also. What was the thing that I was missing there? So I started doing a lot of research in online, like how people actually study. So there I came to know about two, three things. The first thing is study with the focus. So earlier I used to plug in the earphone and then I used to start the study. So this is very bad habit for student, like listening to the music and then studying anything, because like you have to be very focused on the thing that you are studying. So maybe you're solving some mathematics, you need a high amount of focus, and listening to some people are there who can get concentrated on listening to music. So that's good thing, but I don't generally advise people to like watching movies and solving the questions. So that's the very bad combination. Watching the TV and solving questions, talking with friends, solving the questions. So I started avoiding these type of things. The second thing that I came to know about is Pomodoro technique. So like in college, especially students used to have half an hour slot or 1 hour free time before the second class is going to start. So I used to started utilizing those times, and in 1 month, I also started a meditation type of thing. So, and talking about the syllabus means the preparations main thing. So I just took out the print out of the syllabus, and I first started with analyzing the past year paper. So I thought, means I was not able to solve a single question. So I thought, I saw there two, three integrations, double integral questions. So I thought, okay, integral is my, means integration was my good. So I start from that. So I started with studying the integration. And when I solved those two, three questions, was confident, okay, I can now solve some ITSM questions. So mainly I started from mathematics section because my mathematics was rather good than a statistics person. And then math syllabus was, at that time used to be 40% and stats was 60%. So maths was my, like good. So I revised the mathematics only 10 days, 30 days time is not so good. So I got the time 10 days to revise the maths. 10 days I did the stats, and stats I only prepared stats, probability, random variable distributions, because these things were rather than easy than the, this, what you can say, inference part, because in inference you have to do a lot of work. So, and I concentrated on those things, and for the last 10 days I focused on past year paper. So means the 1 month journey that was I had, I only used to, means I only focused on the problem solving part. Means I knew that I can't solve 1,000 questions from a book. I can't solve two three different books on stats. So the only thing I can do is I can learn the art of problem solving. And that was the thing that helped me clear IT, not only the ITSM, but also later CMI, MSc Data Science, and ISI, MSQMS. And I was also gold medalist from my batch. So that was the whole idea about that. If you know the art of problem solving, you can do a lot of things. Because, like in, especially in the maths and stats, just you can't be sure that you are going to solve that particular questions and that particular question is going to come in your exam. Because there can be different variety of questions coming from the same formula, same concept. But if you know the art of problem solving, like how to approach a problem, how to what can say, attack a problem when uh, the problem is given in front of you, then that's become quite interesting. And you really like to enjoy the process of this learning. Like, okay, this is a problem. Okay, I know this type of things. How can you solve it? So this type of, means when you have this attitude, the students have this attitude, they will generally, going to blow the exam, which whether it is ISI, CMI, or any other exam, or IT exam, any other
So,
exam, they will going to blow it.
so given that you, like, I think you had a quite a good knowledge in probability and statistics,
Yeah.
before. So students don't get a wrong idea that he didn't study. He was a gold medalist, so he had a total knowledge of probability and statistics and mathematics beforehand. So one
Yeah.
month was with the
So
problem solving. Okay, so
yeah,
don't get a
okay,
wrong idea.
and you can also assume that 1 month was time when I was organizing my studies. So I had studied this type of things in my graduation. So like at BHU, people teachers were very good, and they were teaching those things at a very good level. I had good notes, so you can say that the 1 month was the time when I was organizing my all study and at one place and just giving it a, like a final touch. So that should be the final idea the students should get it.
Yes.
So
So
it's not like that. Yeah, it's not like that. Someone is just starting from the scratch and do it in 1 month. So that's not possible. I mean, so obviously, to do something, you have to spend some time to get familiarized with the subject. So I had that
exactly.
familiarity.
So students actually, like, students have a very weird habit, and they started having panicking about the examination from the very first day. Okay, so I tell them that, if you focus on the knowledge and just focus in the last day on for the problem solving, or last month or last 2 3 months, I think that's the best way of, taking the most out of it, because knowledge
Yeah,
is
yeah.
knowledge come first.
Yeah, like the problem solving thing comes only when you have some knowledge. Means it's not like I don't have knowledge of, means I don't have knowledge of economics, then how can I solve problems related to economics? So that's how. So first they should try to get the knowledge as much as possible, and also to clarify the basic concept and the things related to the any subject. And when you have everything clear at your mind, then you can better approach at any problem. So that should be the main idea. So first acquire the knowledge, then try to have the problem solving skill, because like knowledge is the foundation, you can say, building block of the problem solving skill. So just that's the first step. And yeah, you are right on that.
So, what do you want to suggest on the problem solving? Like, you told about the very good word called art of problem solving, which is very close to my heart. So, what do you like? Any ideas on the art of problem solving that you kind of, yeah, focus on, or
Okay,
share? Want
so
to share?
earlier when I was preparing for the IIT JAM, so I used to recall my days when I was preparing for JE, and at that time I clearly recalled that there were two types of students in the coaching classes. So one types of student was those who were actually excited about any problem. So whenever the teacher used to say that, okay, solve these questions, they were excited. Means it was like they were just like excited. Oh, this is something they're going to get some reward by solving that questions. And I was from the second type of student who used to say that, okay, I don't know this formula, I don't know, I've not practiced 1,000 questions. How can I solve this particular questions which is from which has been asked in ITG? So first mistake that a student do while learning the problem solving skill is they think that they need to solve 10,000 questions to get mastered in particular subject. Then they will be able to solve that particular questions level as per as level to ITGM or ITJ. So the first thing is that whenever you know about any know about subject, so let's say if we're talking about some particular topic, let's say probability. So if you know about the probability, then you should be sure that whatever you know, whatever the basic concept you know, that is somewhere around. So it may happen that you have missed some properties, or maybe you have missed some formula, maybe missed some definitions, and that everything is going to come to any particular questions. So whenever I see a particular questions, I used to think that whatever I know till now in this particular topic, how can I utilize those particular things to solve these questions? And like these things really help you to first clear out all those other topics that you don't know. So let's say it's a question of probability, then I should not be worried about if I know integration or not, if I know like integration is important, so if I know some other topics or not. So whatever you know about a particular topic, ask the questions. When you see a particular questions, ask the questions to yourself. Whatever I know till now, what's the thing that will help me solving this question? The second thing, you can learn the art of problem solving with your help student, with your friends. So there was one of my friend, Avilas Singh. He was from IIT Kanpur. He did his master's from IIT Kanpur. So he was very good at statistics. So whenever I got confused with any subject, any two questions, I used to go to him, and whenever he was solving the question, I used to see like how he is arriving at particular formula, how is he is arriving at using that particular concept in solving that question. And I was not asking ki, how did you solve it. I used to ask that how did you arrive this particular formula to solve these questions, and he used to explain the reason. So that's how you have to be in the like solving the questions. It's not like okay, if someone has given you a solution and you're just copying it. Just try to learn how he is arriving at particular questions, particular formula, particular conclusion. And when if your students start practicing this for 1 month or maybe 2 months, then they will be a very good problem solver. They'll be able to solve a lot of problems, and there are a lot of other things behind the art of problem solving. But the main idea should be just focus on basics. Means basic means the fundamental building blocks that you already talked about. And then whenever you are looking at any questions, just ask the question to yourself. Okay, means let's say you have an infinite amount of time to yourself, then how can you apply those infinite time and the knowledge that you have to solve that particular questions? So that's the very good thing, because earlier in the initial phase you have to spend a lot of time in developing the art of problem solving. Maybe it happens that you have to spend half an hour to solve a particular medium or hard level questions. But once you have these skills now, means after you can say 2 months, 3 months, means this type of answer will be coming to you automatically. It will be like you'll be saving a lot of time. So it will not be, means you will not require to ask questions again and again. Okay, how I'm going to solve these questions from the formula that I know. It will come to you automatically. So this attitude the students will develop, and this thing will help them to develop the art of problem solving. And then this thing is easy, like learning the formula, learning the concepts, and then if you have the problem solving, so you can see that the formula, the concept, the definitions, the what you can say, other things are the ingredients. And to make the juice, you need a grinder, and problem solving is the grinder that you have to put everything in, and then you have to make the juices. So that's the main thing. So you may have seen also like some students actually they are very good at understanding the concept, and some there are second type of students who are okay good at understanding the concept, but like whenever they solve a problem, they actually become excited like how I'm going to solve that problem, or what's been blocking me to solve that problem. So these type of attitudes are toward the students, and those students actually do good who have good art of good know the how to solve any problems, and they are actually excited about knowing the how to solve the problem, and eventually they will develop this skill, the art of problem solving skill.
Yes, so you're so right. I really like that idea of yours that you need to discuss in groups, okay, to understand how others are, learning and how others are doing, so that you learn from them. Because you don't expect you to know everything by yourself, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one of the most important thing we really focus on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
group discussion is a very important thing. One
Yeah, yeah.
student should focus on. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, like sometimes it may happen that means when you are a part of group, maybe when like students don't want to be part of group because they think that I don't know as far as with my friends, so they know a lot of things I don't know. This will not happen. No, like should be open about the learning. So just sit there. If you don't know anything about the discussion, just try to see what they're discussing, how they're approaching the problem, and this should be okay. Because initially you need to be expert to be a like a group squadron or be a leader in the group discussion. Just be a part. Just see how they're discussing. Means be open to learning, because learning is the main thing. The main questions are going to come in the exams, and one those who are going to solve that questions are getting into the IITs or the place where you want to go. So that should be the main focus, and apart from that, everything should be about the learning.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for these beautiful ideas and analogies. Thank you, Nitin. Yeah, this really helped the students out there. So the next part which students are really waiting for is the books and resources that you use for your preparation. And let's assume let's share like how can you increase your preparation? How can a student increase his or her preparation over the year of 1 year, like over 1 year, let's say, if they're not learning alongside the DSC last 1 year, yeah.
Okay,
So
so first of all, the students should start with the single idea about what should they prepare, and everything is about the syllabus. So I always advise ki just forget about everything, just go and take a printout of the syllabus. Because what the students do is, in the joy of learning, they started learning too much that they forget about what is going to be asked in the exam. So let's like there is A B topic that is going to ask and C D topic is not going to ask. So while learning, they just become ki, oh, I'm learning a lot of things. Okay, learning is good thing, but like for the exam, the main target should be learn the right thing. So right thing is in the syllabus. First, get a printout of the syllabus. The second thing should be, especially from the mathematical statistics perspective, is that you have to be clear about what should you are starting. Look, like whether you're starting from maths part or whether you're starting from the stats part. So now the IITs have reduced the syllabus of the maths part to 30%. But that's a good thing, because like everyone who is from the statistics background read about the mathematics. And the main thing is that means what I advise is to just like start from the maths background, maths part. It may be idea differ from person to person, and especially start from the matrix and determinant part, because those things people actually read about it from the class 12, and then slowly progress about the things, because like integrations, differentiation, all these things are going to come in the probability. So actually this way you are actually making your base also for the stats part, and you are also preparing the mathematics part. So like when people start the probability and random variables and other things, integration is always going to be double integration is always going to be there, area under curve is always going to be there. So these parts, apart from preparing mathematics, you are also preparing the base for your statistics portion that you are going to start. And the next part should be the statistics part. So statistics part, also there are 70% syllabus, and you should be clear about each and every topic. So like some people, some person actually a few days ago asked me that they don't know about the inference, and but they can read about the rest of the syllabus. Okay, I told you, okay, if you don't know about the inference, statistical inference, then try to prepare the rest of the syllabus, because you can do good in the rest of the syllabus also. So I'm not advising the students to not to prepare for the inference, because my main idea is to whatever the topics that we're preparing, just be clear about it. I have to prepare these type of things, I have to prepare this type of books, this type of topics from this type of books. And while preparing the topics, try to make good notes, because that notes are going to help you in revising the concept at the last moment. So it's not like you will go to the book again and start reading the topics again. So just try to make good notes, and especially whenever I start advise a student to start preparing, I just said it, just analyze the past year paper, or you can say past 2 year papers, and just see what are the format of questions that are being asked. So like from the integration portion, if the questions are being asked about the like from the double integrate, maybe about change of variable or change of these type of things. So then while preparing, just try to be more focused on those type of questions, because those type of questions are being asked. So like analyzing means you have to be very open minded for it. It's not like if someone is going to tell it, okay, read these type of questions and you are going to clear the exam. You have a lot of time, so keep studying the things, also keep analyzing the questions that has been asked. And the third most important thing is just try to prepare the formula sheet. That is my close to my heart. And I always say the students, just formula sheet is more important, because at at the end time you can't mix just you are taking some another book and starting with preparations. And in the last 3 month phase, I means 4 month phase, you can say that just focus on the art of problem solving when you have enough knowledge. So last 3 months to last 4 months, whatever the time period students feel comfortable with. Just try to focus on the idea of problem solving, revise those concepts regularly, and maybe if it and the second most important thing is that just don't show up. Like most of the students have idea of being showing up that they are doing good. Means like let's say 10 students are preparing, so they start showing up. My preparation is going good apart from the nine. So just don't do that, because that is actually reason for the overconfidence, and that's actually takes a lot of negative marks in the exam. So just be humble with your friends, and just be like I just like this idea of being humble and just preparing, doing your own work, discussing with friends, and just focusing on the learning. And yes, 1 month is quite a good time, and it's if everything goes smoothly, if you just plan everything accordingly, just analyzing activity steps, you will be able to score very good marks in that exam.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I just want to make it very sure every single time he says 1 month is good time. He means that given that you have all the fundamental knowledge, you can do good problem solving in the
Yeah,
1 month.
yeah. Hmm.
Yep. So what do you think is a good time for preparation? 1 year and 12 months, 11 months. What do you think?
Okay, so one year is quite good time if someone is starting from scratch. So if someone is starting from scratch, like 1 month, quite to be it's 1.5 years is good time. If someone has a basic idea of math and stat, 1 year is good time, and you can say that 6 month is good time for those who have like almost 60%, 70% syllabus they have studied with their faculty, with their college, and they just need to revise all the 60, 70% syllabus, and then 30% syllabus they need to prepare from themselves. So if someone is starting from scratch, 1.5 years is a good time, because like they have to get familiarized with the subject also, like what the stats, what this PMA PDF means, what's the data, and that should be the main timeline. So if someone has a good idea about the stats, 1 year is good time. 1 year is more than enough to they can used to clear the exam.
Perfect,
It's all
perfect,
about
perfect. So
like
what about the
yeah, I was telling you, it's all about the familiarity with the subject. Yeah.
perfect? So what about the books and online resources that you use for your own preparation and will suggest the students out here?
Okay, so mainly, like I was from BHU, so we had a good college notes, and notes was actually the probability, the random variables, the distribution. These were actually very good notes that teacher had made. So I used those notes only. For the mathematics part, there are a lot of subjects. So I used to follow my college prescribed book. So there was a means I will not tell a student to just follow this type of books, but you will find similar type of books in every university, and like some people have there are some international recognized authors written this type of books. So for me, I started with the basics, with the fundamental of mathematical statistics. That was a good book for me to, and I had my teacher's notes and like a material, so that I used. For maths part, mainly I used like Gorakh Prasad. There is a good writer Gorakh Prasad, and those books were in my our college. So by differential calculus, integral calculus was Gorakh Prasad. Santi Narayan real analysis was book was there, so I used that book for the real analysis part. And for sequence and series, there was a book, I forgot the name, but yeah, it was also a good book. And apart from that, I means
I think
like
in the form you've written, a sequence and series is by Shanti Narayan. Is that the book?
yeah, yeah, sequence and series means there was also other book by the Santi means of sequence and series, and that I forgot. But Narayan I was using for the real analysis and sequence series, but there were some topics of sequence series that was not mentioned in the Santi Narayan. But yes, like for me, college notes was a good, because every topics that I already told our teachers had taught, and they had a good amount of problem solved in the notes. So that was the main idea. But these were the books that I used. And for like matrix and determinant, uh, means notes was enough. Means I don't know what to say more, but notes was enough. And I also followed one to YouTube videos, because I found that there were some questions from matrix properties that was and determinant properties that were regularly asked. So for those properties, I followed some YouTube videos. And like there is a YouTube channel for gate mathematics, that was the channel. And I followed that channel. And I read some few books from the YouTube, few topics from them too. So like as per the availability, there are a lot of people teaching statistics online also. So a lot of topics that you can't find in the book, or if you're not clear about the book, you can go to the YouTube tutorials, and just everything should be about him. Just make your concept clear, whether it's from book, it's from notes, or it's from YouTube videos, and that's the thing that all matters.
Yep, perfect, perfect, super. And so, what do you use like for probability and statistics? What did you use?
Okay, so probability, I use the Santi Narayan book. So like my probability area was good. So I just not had to do a lot of work. So uh, this and this and then I just solved previous year questions. So past previous year questions, 5 years previous year questions I followed, and I was able to solve. Like probability 6 marks. I thought 6 marks was the range of probability, and random variable I think means I also when students start to prepare, they just know about the marks distribution from each topic. So like a lot of resources are there. They're actually publishing like for if you analyze past 2 3 questions, then what is the marks distribution from each topic, and accordingly they decide ki what topics should they prefer most. Like it may happen that 80% of 80% marks are being covered by like it may happen that 60% of syllabus or 70% of syllabus. So you may just focus on just 70% syllabus. So like it's 80-20 rule in the world. So like 80% of things may happen in the 20% of time, but 80-20 rule is not something that we should discuss it, because 80-20 rule is some very abstract concept. So especially it's written that 80-20 rule is about like the unbalanced thing in our universe. So it may happen that some bigger amount of things are happening from some very small amount of what you can say just the problem solving thing. Like you may have studied for 1 year, and if you are developing problem solving in just 2 months, so it may just conclude that those everything will start making sense in just 2 months. So that's the thing. Just students should know about the marks distribution, and that's they will be that it will help them to decide which topics should focus most. Because most of the time it happens that the students are not able to prepare 100% of the syllabus. It's okay. It's okay. You can prepare 90% syllabus. You can prepare 80% of the syllabus. But whatever you are preparing, just be clear with that. Just prepare everything so well that means you can do almost good questions from that particular topic.
Yes, so I think this like this idea of like I suggest personally that students should do all the topics out there
Mm-hmm.
till the first 6 7 8 months. Like if they have not
Mm-hmm.
done, that's the best thing. So in case like many people are not good with I was not personally good with integration. Okay, I don't find it interesting. So therefore I sort of think that if someone is not comfortable with it, that person should not stop learning it, but should not attempt it in the examination, which they can
Yeah,
focus in
yeah.
the last 2 3 months. Yeah. So that's what he's telling us. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I think this is like strength and weakness analysis is really important here. Yep. Okay. So coming back to the next question, what did you do on the last day? Oh, I
Okay,
missed that last.
so last month. So that was the last month. So last day, like means I remember that game. I was very anxious whether the thing will happen or not. So, but like on the 29th day, I was able to solve almost 45 to 50% of previous year questions on my own. So I was knowing that something good will happen if I am able to do these type of things honestly. So on the last day I did, like I had a good sleep before the exam. So that's more important, because when once if you are not able to sleep well on the last of the exam, just you just wake up being anxious, and just you don't know how to just don't remember everything. You are not focused. So just have a good sleep, have a good diet also, because on last day you are not expecting your health to go down. And also about ki, just don't argue with anyone. This is the main thing, because if you argue with anyone about anything, just you will have your mood spoil, and that is going to affect a lot in your exam. So and just listen to music, meditate, talk with any friend. So I talked with one of my friend, means whom I was means that was my best friend. So I was talking with him, and I said ki, I don't know what is going to happen, but means something good is will be coming in the way. So he told the same thing ki, just if you're prepared well, something good will happen. And also I talked with my brother, because he used to be my mentor. So he told ki, just don't focus on what's what's in what will be the what will be the thing after the exam. Just focus, just be assured that whatever you have prepared, just you have to perform those things. And apart from that, just leave everything. So after exam, he told me we will not be discussing anything about it, what you did, what did not happen. So means I was just calm. I just listening to the music, means just walking alone. So just try to be yourself. He just means like तूफान से पहले की शांति होती है ना, just be like that. You have to perform very well in the exam. And when I came from the exam, and when my brother called, we were on video call, and I smiled. So he told me, you need nothing to explain. I understood how the your exams was. So that's the thing happened. And when you are really calm, you're really focused, you actually perform better. You perform better than your expectations, better than your preparations, because focus is more important. Because these time people generally don't focus, just don't put much attention on the focus. They just see that ki hard work is equal to more marks. Yes, that's true, but hard work with focus is equal to exponential marks, and that you have to be very sure about. Just put your whole focus with your hard work. That will be the, like in the past thing, when the people used to say ki Rishi Muni type of people actually get to start do very hard work. So it was means people want to tell it they are doing hard work with focus. And nowadays people just means mislead this thing, because hard work means putting more hours. Yes, putting more hours is good. Just try to put those more hours with full focus, and that will be where you will outstand, you get outstanding result in the exams or anything else in the life.
Very good. I think this today's session is a lot of life values that Nitin is sharing. Actually, this is the reason I contacted Nitin, because life is like examination. Doing good in examination or preparing requires much more of life than knowledge only. Okay, it
Yeah.
also requires different dimensions of life, which is
Hmm.
important. So do focus and do have a lot of to have your free time to prepare yourself. Okay, don't just go for coaching and stuff like that. You can prepare on your own self also. That's like what Nitin is also saying. Give your time to yourself and prepare yourself. Okay, very good. So thank you, Nitin. So let's move on to the next question. Like how did you attempt the question paper? Like
Okay,
any
so yeah, yeah. So like when I was preparing, I was preparing for the IT exam. I found the integer type questions was actually very easy for me, and it was in mind that earlier when I was preparing for JE, I used to do a lot of mistakes in the negative marks. Negate, sorry, this integer type questions, because integer type questions is something like there is no option given. You have to solve and arrive to conclusion. You don't know whether it's the number that you are expecting, because there is no any option given it should be the number. But when I was preparing for the exam, I found most of the integer type questions was my strong area, because I was able to do a lot of questions, correct questions from that area. And in the single correct questions was also there, and that was that was also my good area, because multiple correct questions was something that I always used to suck. And now also means whether you picked A, B, C, and options would be A, B, D, and you don't know about it, means that was my weak area. I can just say that. So I thought I should focus on my strength rather than the weakness. So like if, I had not covered 100% syllabus. Obviously, I had covered 75 to 80% syllabus. And when I was attempting the questions, at first I started with the single correct questions. And I used to proceed with this way. I used to start with just get a good glance of the questions, and the questions that can be solved within 5 to 10 to 15 seconds, that I used to do before. Because I told you, I just found 5 to 6 type of questions from the past year that was actually being asked every year. So I just started finding those type of questions. And uh,
I think there's a problem with your video. Can you just check?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is it not? So I told ki I had found some questions, like 4 to 5 types of questions that was being asked each year. So I found those questions that year also. So I did those questions first, and then I started with the question number one. And the questions that the topic that I had prepared, I was only touching questions from that particular topic. So like I had not prepared inference. I'm being honest with myself. I had not prepared inference. So whenever I got an inference question, I was not applying a single mind key how to solve this type of questions. So the thing is that whatever we prepared, just try to focus on that for you can say it 2.5 hours. So for the 3 hour exams, you just focus on the topics that you have prepared, and just try to leave the topic that you have not prepared, because we will deal those things in later half an hour. And this way you will just like you will shrink your area on what type of question you need to solve. So the topic that I had prepared, I was strong in that, so I focused on that topic, that particular questions from those topics, and I was able to solve those questions. For half an hour, I focused on some topics that I had just read once or twice, and was also able to solve two three type of questions. So the first thing is that just clear the noise. Noise means if some particular topics that you've not prepared, just for the first 2.5 hours, just don't focus on that. Just try to focus on those particular topics that you prepared, and especially it may happen that it sometimes it happens as the single correct answers are questions are harder as compared to the integer type. So it may happen that if you plan I will be solving 15 to 20 marks from the single integer type questions, single correct type questions, and you are not able to solve it. You maybe solved about 20, 10 to 12 marks. It's okay. Just go to the next section. Just go to the integer types questions, solve that particular questions, and when you will gain some confidence, yes, you have solved 25 to 30 marks of questions, you have gained some confidence, then you are, I know it may happen, it happens that in the beginning of the exams you are less focused as compared to in the middle of the exam, because as you are getting immersed in the exam, your focus start to enhance. You are just starting to recall a lot of formulas and a lot of things, and in the meanwhile you can just go and attempt those particular questions that earlier you were not able to solve it. So the main idea is that just focus on those questions from the topic that we prepared, and if in the end, after 2.5 hours, if you have a half hour time, and if you have no more questions to solve from your topics that you prepared, then you can try to solve some other questions. And the second thing is that just don't do, like some person starts solving the questions aggressively and putting a lot of negative marks in their paper, because they think that, okay, anyway I'm not going to clear this exam, so what's the point in getting 35 to 40 marks. So that should not be the idea, because whatever you are performing the exam, that should be the whole result of whatever you prepared. So just try to solve all those questions that you know that you can solve. Just don't try to put just don't try to solve the questions recklessly by like putting random numbers or putting some negative some options that you are not sure about. So just don't do that. Just be sure about everything. And I told you, when you have prepared well, you have good art of problem solving, you will easily do good in the exam. So, and like every people have their own strategy. Like some people start with the multiple correct, some people start with the integer type, some people start with the single correct. So that is good, but the main idea should be solve the questions from the topic that you have prepared. And the second most important, don't put the just don't try to answer the questions recklessly. Just be reasonable with your answer. If you have arrived at some conclusion, then just put it. If you not, just there is no need to put that answer. So what's the point in putting like 4 or 5 questions randomly when you are not sure about if anyone will get correct also. So that's like we are getting some negative marks only.
Perfect, perfect, superb, superb. So, yeah. So I mean, focuses on what is the strength and focus on that the strength, and he did only follow that strategy. That's really good. I mean, your
Yeah,
strategy
yeah.
is actually matching with mine, so I'm feeling good. Yeah.
I
Okay.
know, like
So
also at that time also I had means only 0.3 marks as my negative marks. So I had not secured any negative marks in the exam. Only 0.3 marks as negative. So that was quite a good accuracy, because at JEE time I remember I had a lot of negative marks. So that's why I was not able to clear the cutoff. So that was also a challenge within me to just score as much less negative marks as possible. So like it happens to students solve for 50 marks and they just get 20 marks in the negative. Whole idea is blown. So that should not be the target. Just be clear with whatever you are solving, and you are good to go.
perfect. How did you manage your time? Like, I think this is like during the last part of your like, does this question resonate with you because you prepared in the last 1 month and
Oh, yeah, so like in the last semester, we had means in the computer science we had two academic courses, and there was one live project, means one project for the whole semester. So you can say that I was having a lot of time, because two courses means 4 times a week. Means only there was classes 4 times a week, and only for 2 hours a day. So from morning to evening, I had to only attend 2 hours lecture. So I used to do those lectures because apart from studying statistics and mathematics, I used to relax sometimes. So I used to go to the sit to the lecture and enjoy the lecture. So that's how I attended the lecture. And like there was a project, major project with me also. So I had a good web development expertise at that time. So I just thought I will be able to do the projects after IIT JAM also. So when IIT JAM exam was complete on 10th Feb, so I did the project in last 10 to 15 days. So I knew that these type of things, if I have expertise in web development, why not save those times now and focus on the study rather than doing the projects now. So when the IIT exam exams was complete, I did my project also, and I was regularly attending the lecture, so I had good notes with me. So I had a lot of time, and that was because I had one project and two papers only, and those helped me saving a lot of time. Because like if you have six subject to attend, so attending class from morning to evening will not be possible, and I might have to skip the classes. And I was very, like for me, I was very good at having the good attendance. So in the last year, in the third year, I had 100% attendance in my class, and that's helped me getting being the gold medalist of the batch. So I used to learn a lot in the lecture also. So I was quite honest with that. So I did not skip any class. So I used to study the stats and maths. And when I used to would say that you okay, I have studied more enough, I just go to sit to the lecture and attend the lecture honestly. And means like mind is diverted from some other areas, and then you back to the stats and maths, and then just start preparing. So it was happened with me because I had only two papers. So if you one is six paper or some seven papers, so that is quite difficult for them also. So people, it's good to skip some lectures if you have, but for me, honestly, I did not skip any lecture because I was able to manage the time. So I knew that I will be able to manage the time because two papers was not actually tough to attend the lectures with.
Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, so by the way, before I move on to the last two questions, and for the students out there, and what Nitin, I will share like one of the work like Nitin has done, and so he has written this book. I will give the link about how like the techniques, like what techniques. I mean, I have read this book, so it's like the general life techniques that can be useful. So which is really like it's for general in general all the any IIT JAM examination. So I want to show this because this is something new, and first time I saw someone focus on the the strategies one should take from a life perspective, like as a person, rather than the examination totally. So I think that is like something really new to me, so I wanted to share it with you. So I will share the link in the comment box right now. If you want to buy it, you can just like yeah. So thank you, Nitin, for this beautiful work. Okay, so I really liked it.
Okay, Sachin.
Thank you.
Like
Okay, perfect.
I have been with a lot of ebooks in the data science domain also. Uh, like you might have seen, I have shared some good beautiful books on the LinkedIn also. So if someone wants, they can connect me with on LinkedIn. We can if they want to ask some questions, we can do that. Okay, Sajid, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I was asking whether you can share your LinkedIn profile. I will just check if I have it. I think I have it. Yes, I will share it in the comment box also. If people are interested, please get in touch with Nitin. He is a really good person, and he helps out a lot of people out there. Okay, you can ask your seniors. So yeah, thank you, Nitin, for this. Yep. So please get in touch with him. He also gives a lot of advices on data science because he's a researcher in the TCS Innovation and Research Lab in data science and reinforcement learning. So he can also give you and help you in your data science preparation journey also. So thank you, Nitin, for doing this beautiful work you're doing. Okay, I'm really happy. We need people like you. Uh,
Thank
so
you.
yep. So the last two questions that is very. I mean, this is something I ask all of the people out there. So what are the mistakes you made that you don't want your juniors to make? Like, yeah.
Okay, so the first mistake that I am talking, starting from this session, is that just don't get this idea to do ITGM in 1 month, because it's happened with me just by coincidence, and I used to get a lot of things because I put a much of effort. But now you have the better idea about the exam, and if you are means if you have wanted to clear the ITGM mathematical statistics, just like we discussed the timeline, ki how parts of the timeline to prepare for the exam, and just be comfortable with the timeline, because means this 1 month thing is very risky, and I had some better luck, you can say that I was able to do that. But just don't get into this thing, because means there are a lot of what you can say, you just don't get a good idea about about the means. I had a good idea about the syllabus and the things, because I had read these things in my bachelor. So 1 month was for me to just get into the final touch with the subject. So just don't get into this wrong idea of doing the ITSM in 1 month, because it does not matter, because whatever you are doing, just try to, you have to get to the IT, and then maybe you are doing it in 1 month or maybe 1 year. That's not the problem. And 1 month is not a particular thing, because if you're not having any idea about a subject, that is quite impossible to do, because you have to be familiar with the subjects, the math, the stats, because those things will be coming not only with your preparation, but whenever you join to the IT also. So just try to read the read the subjects well, because that those things will help you sort of means good performing good at ITs also, because you're not, your whole purpose is not just clear the ITs and just to be perform good at ITs, get to the good places, do some good research internship and all those things. That just to want what you want to do, and for those you need to know the maths and stats, and for this you have to study. And 1 month you can't grasp the whole stats and math in just 1 month. So just don't get the wrong idea about the timeline. That's the first thing that I want to tell, because you might things might not go well, because some may be facing some different types of issue with their thing. And the second mistake that I want to discuss is that people generally don't discuss with friends. So personally, I learned a lot of things from my friends, and whenever whatever you are studying, if you don't know about anything, just don't hesitate to approach to your friend, because your friends can help you a lot, because the person who are preparing those type of things can help you solve some questions. So just don't hesitate. There's no such thing as ego. Like people just go into ego that I have to get into the IT and he should not be able to get into IT. This is not something like that. A lot of students, 10,000 students study at IIT Bombay each year. So what you are thinking? If those 10,000 students are coming from different background, so a lot of people are going to the ITs. A lot of people are making their futures, and you have chance to make your future also. Just discuss with your friends. Be a humble person, because those things will help you a lot. And just uh, just enjoy the journey, enjoy the preparation journey, because at that time, after you clear the ITSM, you will be able to say that to people, yes, I have done something different. And that will be a lot to the your juniors and other people person that are coming to this session, or that coming to the exams. That's all mistakes and
Yeah.
suggestions I can give.
Perfect, perfect. So I think this idea is Nitin's idea of this futuristic vision of learning is very good. I think this is the students what we trying to, you know, preach. I should say, not
Mm.
teach, preach rather, to the students that they should follow this, that have a futuristic vision of learning, so that you have to survive in where, even if you go into IIT or whatever place, you have to survive there. If your foundation is not strong, you cannot survive actually. So yeah, thank you. I think you have also addressed this question. If you want to say anything to the students, anything you want to add more, and any ending note before we wrap up.
Okay, so at the end, I just want to tell that for any exam preparations, it's not like IIT, it's for any exam preparations. The means I want to conclude this whole session. Just most important thing is syllabus. Just try to focus more on the syllabus. The second most important thing is uh, meditation and focus. So you need to be focused a lot, because the exams that are being taken by IITs, ISA and CMI, that requires a lot of thinking skill. And with great focus, you can think better, you can perform better in the exam. And the and you can see the means you can see this because I was able to develop this problem solving for IITs, and it helped me in this CMI and ISI also. So that's the key thing that you can see, that if anyone has a focus and problem solving skill, they can do good in the exam. And the fourth point is just be humble, just be a good person, and just spread positivity in the world, because you got to inspire some other people for by your act and by your journey. So that's the all from my side. And always you can always connect me on LinkedIn, ask some questions, we can discuss something between data science or anything else. And also, I thanks Srijit for inviting me for this session, because I could not agree that this was a best session from my life, and I actually enjoyed a lot talking to you too. And I hope we'll be connecting in the future also for some other session on data science or maybe CMI other thing.
Sure, 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 sure. So I would love to. I really like your attitude, like as a person. that really matters more in the world right now. With the wars going on in the world, I think people should be better persons in the current position and help the other people like you are doing. Thank you so much. And Momita has a small questions. If you have guys have some questions, share it in the comment box. Momita has some question like, what is the art of problem solving? How did you learn it? I think we had addressed it before in the life.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we
so we are
discussed.
addressing it more in the life, and please look into it. And yeah, so if you have any other more questions, you can get in touch with Nitin. And thank you, Nitin, for coming over. And my gratitude, Chinta's gratitude to you, and for sharing your
Thank you,
knowledge.
Srijit.
Yeah, so thank you, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the session, guys. If you
Yeah,
enjoyed it, um, yep. So now to the students also, if you enjoy the session, do share, like, and subscribe, and whatever you do on YouTube, I don't know say it anymore. So thank you guys, and yep, keep on inspiring, and as Nitin has told, keep on sparking interest and positivity and share knowledge while you're learning and preparing for the journey, and focus on foundations and building our foundations. Group discussions, that is very important. Make your own notes. So all these aspects. Thank you guys, and thank you all of you. Yep. Thank you, Nitin, for Nitin has also told you all the best. So all the best, guys. I will see you in the next live. Bye bye, Nitin. Bye bye, guys. Yep. Bye.
bye, Srijit.